Welcome to the F1 1997 Gran Turismo Sports Championship. Round 2, Brazil. An exciting place that has known many ups and downs of the F1 Championship. The dramatic 2008 Championship decider. 2007, Kimi Räikkönen wins an unlikely championship. Vettel coming back from the back and winning championship, but this time is the round 2 as it was back then. Starting grid for today. Chris in the Terra Ford, Knight Rider in the Lola Ford is your first two guys. Masma in the Ferrari, followed by Marius in the Jordan Peugeot. Crashtastic and Count User Free form row number 3. Aish in the Benetton Renault and Tin Pan in the Jordan Peugeot form 4th lane. All player in the McLaren Mercedes and Hippie Hogan in the Williams for 9th and 10th. And that will be your starting grid for today. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, you bunch of hot dogs! Alright, they're aligned and the lights will go off for this race. Chris, the number 97 pole position, followed by Knight Rider. Lights out and away we go, and oh, there's the Minotti of Confuser Free just got a beautiful start. Chris, it also got a beautiful start because he kept the lead in number 97 Tyrrell. Followed by the Lola Mastercard as the Jordan going around the outside at Marius, the Frenchman. Knight Rider in the draft of Chris. Will he go around the outside? Yes, he does before the corner. Change of leader. Oh, bump! I think it was a bump from Chris to Knight Rider, but they made it run safely. Meanwhile, all player under the menace of Marius. Actually, Marius losing a lot of positions. A good start from the McLaren boys here. A 3rd and 4th. They were pretty good last time at Bathurst. So now let's see how they will handle today at the Brazilian track. Knight Rider 1st, Chris 2nd, Crashtastic 3rd, All Player 4th, Marius 5th, Aish 6th, Confuser Free 7th, Mazma 8th. Chris the poleman, who is now 2nd, trying to follow Knight Rider, but Knight Rider actually has quite a gap here, so I'm looking. So yeah, I wasn't paying attention that on the bottom left you can see how the cars are looking in terms of damage and tire wear. So soft tires for Chris, and no damage. Oh, and I didn't notice, but he got overtaken by Crashtastic. Oh, that was big blunder for me. I apologize for this. So yeah, no, it seems to not be damaged. Although I think he bumped it, but like Irish in a Benetton Renault, followed by Confuser Free battle for 6th place. Last week's winner, Irish did not get retired from the race last time. Confuser Free down the inside of the Minotti driver, and yes, not stick. He's still there, no, and here we go. Good job from the Minotti driver. As we're moving to Crashtastic and let's see if he can go back on Knight Rider. I think did the gap go? I think yeah, he did gain some time on the German driver. Ooh. Chris got really... Oh, and the wall for Crashtastic! Oh, no! Ouch! Crashtastic in the wall for him. That's such a shame. In 2nd, he was coming back on Knight Rider, but sadly for the McLaren driver, it's disaster. As now we're with all player in the draft of Chris. Around the outside, will he make it stick? And yes, he does! No, Chris on the brake. Overtaking back, side by side for the Senna assist, and now Marius is in the contention for that third place. So All Player attacking Chris and overtaking him, but Chris bad on the brakes, and now he's under the menace of the French driver. So let's see, All Player, he was starting in 9th and he's actually in 1st. Let's work now. Good start, clears Hippie with gun and Tin Pan driver. Ooh, a lot of... Oh, around the outside of Mazma. Good job from him. Oh, and into the little... Oh my goodness me! Now that is a great start. He used the little space he had and he made a 2 position. Ooh, and Marius got a little loose, and yeah, 4th place. What a start from All Player. As with Irish and yeah, Confused Free got loose in that turn. Wow. As now the gap seems to be a bit bigger between All Player and Marius. So good job on All Player to keep the Jordan at bay. Although Chris has gotten away from the German driver. And as I say that, he got quite a bit on the braking zone, so yeah, good on him. On soft tires too. So, of course, with all this championship, we already know about pretty much the balance of performance between the class of drivers. Class 1, Class 2, Class 3 have to spend the circuit to make their car slower and have a certain power to weight ratio, as we're with Mazma right behind Irish. Also, for this round, Confuser Free has more ballast weight, up by 3% for this race, because he won the last time. Asma still behind Irish. Last time was a disaster for the Ferrari team. Let's hope they can. Let's hope Mazma, the only representative of the Ferrari team tonight, will be able to recover after this performance. Also in 9th place, my apologies, because last time I didn't know, but Hippie with a gun, who I complimented on her, because yeah, she's a she, on her driving, her consistent driving. Like, she's in 9th, but with the more time passes, and I think she will be able to get a position, because she has been so consistent as contact between Irish and Mazma. Yeah, I mean, like, it seemed like Irish was very aggressive, and Mazma wants to get revenge on him. Side by side for the second stretch, and Mazma has overtaken it. He's got the inside. Will he make the move? Yes, it does. It sticks, and Irish goes wide, beating and banging for turn 1, and Mazma takes 6th place. Good job on the Italian driver. As we're switching to Hippie with a gun right behind the second Jordan. Yeah, the Jordan, we're seeing them this time. And let's see what she can do against the Finnish driver. Tin Pan, also someone we didn't see last time. Alright, in the slipstream. And actually, yeah, Hippie with a gun, she has taken the option of the medium compound tires. So that's pretty interesting. Scratchtastic is pitting this time, maybe to repair damage for the McLaren driver. Really, such a shame that crash in the opening laps. The Williams-Renault driver, Hippie with a gun, now losing quite a bit of ground to Tin Pan driver, but I think she is maybe the only person who has made the start and the race into medium tires. So to remind you, you can only have one specific component tires, as Tin Pan driver also is racing the medium tires. So either you start on the soft and the mediums and you stick with those tires. You can do pit stops, but you can only put back the tires the compound you had at the start. So if you're starting on soft and you do another pit stop, you have to put on soft. That's an obligation. Timpan looking to have a personal best sector, so let's see what he can do on this lap. He's looking feisty, and actually he's coming back on Irish, and oh yeah, my bad, I didn't see that, but Irish has lost a position to Mazma. Jordan, the team where Michael Schumacher made his debut in 1991, and look at this beautiful paint scheme. The Benson and Hedges Jordan, whereas are some of my personal favorites with the Rossmans Williams. But I'm gonna sad to see like actually those cars a bit down. I mean, I'm being too hard because yeah, Macias. Oh, I'm really forgetting. No, Marius in 4th place, and ooh, Knight Rider, and Chris has come back onto Knight Rider. We've got a final lead for the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Going for Junsao. Chris will have the slipstream coming to the front stretch as Marius is really looking feisty behind our player down the back stretch. Chris did not get as much as I thought he would. Is he lifting off, maybe? Knight Rider. Oh, and look at this. The top 4 is getting closer. And oh, Marius, thank God he got it, because that would have been a nasty wreck between him and our player. Now, what will be Chris's strategy? Does he want to stay behind Knight Rider and maybe hope for a mistake and run his race? Or is Knight Rider really fast and Chris is struggling to keep pace with him? I mean, when I say struggling, I mean forcing more in the tires, so we'll see. But now looking, so let's see, that's the... Okay, so the right front tires of Knight Rider is a bit more worn out. I wonder how Chris's tires look like. There seems to be no damage on that Lola Mastercard. Seeing Lola Mastercard leaning is really weird, to be honest. Chris is really close. Will he overtake or will he stay behind the Lola Mastercard? As with our player, and I don't think his wear on the tires is as bad as Knight Rider's. And ooh, he's right behind. Oh, and I see it. Oh yeah, he's overtaking Chris! Our player not asking questions. Shoot first, ask questions later. Will he try to double move? Not quite. To be honest, our player is looking better on the tire wear on those left tires than Knight Rider. So yeah, will he pull a move down the stretch? In slipstream. Oh yeah. And down the inside goes the German driver, and he set the limit while Marius overtakes Chris for 3rd place. Go on, lad, go on. Now let's see Marius' overtake. He took advantage of the commotion in front. Yeah, Chris just had to check up a bit, and Marius used that little space of the inside to take 3rd place. Now that's beautiful from the French driver. Meanwhile, with Mazma, who has overtaken, became back Irish, so... And now he seems to have made quite a gap, so that's good for him. Meanwhile, the second Jordan is menacing a British driver. Meanwhile, Comfy User Free, like last week's winner, he was so dominant last week, and he's really strict as... Oh, Marius has overtaken Knight Rider. You stay on the left side. Oh, Mazma in the grass. And yep, Irish and Tinpan took advantage of that. Knight Rider overtaking back the French driver. Yeah, you see that. Oh! And now Comfy User Free has done the fight. And this is really playing into all players' favor. He has lift off. Like, auf Wiedersehen. I'm not seeing you again. Apologize for that German accent. I won't do it again. So let's see. Comfy User Free. Oh, yeah. Was there contact between Chris and Knight Rider? Maybe a little bump. So, Comfy User Free. I just mentioned that he was looking kind of quiet, but like he came back onto the chase pack, and now he's looking really feisty. And yeah, as you can see, this is why he was not as he was a little discreet. I'm messing with my words, but like you understand my point. Is that he started on the medium tires, so his tire was looking much better than everyone else ahead of him. So for Confuser Free, that's just a matter of biding his time, let those guys in front wear out the soft tires, and then take advantage of that medium tire to overtake them, and maybe do less stops, as you can see. Yeah, so 42 laps, and already, yeah, Knight Rider's in the pits. I don't think the soft tires was the right option for him. He's going to have to pit a lot. The 10th lap. He's going to have to do 3 stops. He'll have to, because I don't think the tires will handle this. So yeah. Also, not to forget, this is something that I kind of forgot during the first race. Don't forget that these guys may have penalties at the end. They are not shown on the broadcast, but yeah, they're going to have to, this. So maybe like, for example, a driver like Chris or Marius may have at the end 3 or 5 seconds penalty, and that could play in the heads of a Knight Rider or a Confuser Free. And as Marius has caught back all players, so yeah, France versus Germany here, Jordan versus McLaren. Who would have seen that coming? So let's see. Marius behind all player. Will he use the slipstream? And yeah, and look at this. This is something really interesting, because Marius has also opted for the medium tires. So this is something very interesting. A lot of variety in today's strategies, as all player doing a much better job than Knight Rider, conserving those soft tires. I mean, he only did 2 laps more, but if he can keep this up, if he can survive through lap 22, lap 21, he can do the 1 stop. Although I still doubt that this is a really optimal strategy. So what will Marius do? It's obvious that he's a bit faster thanks to those medium tires, but all players not letting the Frenchman go. I mean, as he should. You're fighting for position here. As Chris, and as you see, Chris not getting back. Oh, yes, he maybe is. I mean, usually when I say something, it's the opposite. Yeah, as I said something, like Chris immediately has called back Marius. As you see, Confuser Free a bit in the distance here. So yeah, very interesting to see the difference of strategy. Mediums versus softs. I mean, for example, last week, Confuser Free, even though he started those softs, he managed to only do 1 stop. So let's see. Oh, bit of a tank slapper for both Chris and all players. Those soft tires starting to wear him. And as you see for Chris, the wear isn't that bad. I think he can do a lot more laps than what. Oh no, he's in the pits. Wow, I didn't expect that, to be honest. I think he could have gone more, like for 5 laps or more. As we're hippie with a gun, trying to hold off Knight Rider. I mean, Knight Rider's on fresher softs, so yeah, she's going to have to let him through. Oh, already in the pits for hippie with a gun. That's surprising. I thought those medium tires would go lot farther, but she decided to piss. I don't know. Maybe I mean there wasn't damage on the HUD, so I don't know. As we were all player, look at this right rear soft tires. They're screaming, but he still holds on, and that's what he has to do. If he is able to keep the medium behind him, he's going to have to wear the tires, and the more laps he holds on, that's the less lap he had to do later. So yeah, maybe all player trying to one-stop strategy here. Let's see, will he pit this time like the other soft tires did? As Marius looking feisty, but he stands behind. So yeah, Marius maybe waiting for all player to pit. But remember, guys, all player, if he tries a one-stop like you guys are doing with those medium tires, he's going to stay ahead of you. So maybe Marius should be a little more aggressive, or maybe Nickael, because the McLaren set up for fast speed. But like, look, as I said, that all player looking feisty again. So yeah, corner exit looking not really good for all player, but his speed and the strength looking really good. as I say that, Marius trying to shove in all players' mirror. This is an interesting fight for the lead. Multiple strategies at play here. And I think we will have our three protagonists as Marius and all players side by side, not anymore. I think we have all three protagonists, but for me, Comfy and Marius are the obvious favorites because they have this medium tire. They can attack when they want. And oh, all player looking wide, and Comfy is a freak down the inside of Marius, taking advantage of the conversion. Really calm race from him. Oh wait, he was starting a bit far, but like he's really quiet, but he does the job. But for Marius, it's not game over yet. So let's see how the Italo Swiss driver will fight the French driver. As yeah, our player looking how wide he is at his exit. So yeah, he's a bit struggling here for the corners. So will he pit this time by? Not. He's not pitting. He's staying on the soft tires. And for now, that is working for him. I mean, I don't know where Chris and Nitro and oh, Mario's trying to look down the inside of Comfy User Free. But still, it's still not enough. And while they're fighting, all player has a bit of a breather. So as Irish in the pit, so yeah, the stars are really weighing a lot. Oh, and Mario's down the inside. Note. And as they cut back, all player. Comfy User Free, and he's side by side with all player. Will he? Oh, this place. No, it's not the usual overtaking spot. And Comfy thinks better of it. On the outside of all player, contact between the both of them, and oh, in the grass for Comfy. Contact between Comfy and all player, and Comfy got into the grass, and Marius took advantage of that. And Marius decided to fight all player. He decided now's the time to take the lead and create a gap between me and Comfy. And yes, he does. The Frenchman is in the lead. That is a crucial moment in Marius's race. If he can create a gap towards all player, he can. Okay, so let's see. Side by side. Bit of contact here, and ooh, very aggressive from all player. Very aggressive, and yeah, that's then Comfy into the grass. And as then Marius managed to go round the outside of all player. Ooh. Yep. Yeah, all player looked really a bit weaker. Besides, yeah, he has a 5/10 penalty, so he'll have to lift up and control. As you see, he already lift like 2/10, and Comfy is still behind him. And yeah, Marius, he can create that gap. I mean, he's not that far ahead still, but the more time Comfy stays behind all player, the better it is for. And as Comfy is trying to go around the outside. And the move is made. He'll make it stick. And yeah, that was very crucial for Comfy to overtake all players as fast as he can, to not let Marius get away with this. Remember, both Marius and Comfy are for me the favorite to win. They have this medium tire and they can make this one stop work. So yeah, big mistake from our player looking up, and as we saw throughout the last few laps, he was still going really wide out of the turns. And as we're with Irish, yeah, going back down to the rankings, in 9th place. The Benetton, also a personal favorite of mine. I really like how original it is, this car. Yeah, Michael Schumacher's second team, his first championship-winning team. There's a lot of history within the Benetton team that's still around today as the Alpine team. Trashtastic, who was second for points in 8th, and that's really a shame for an early wreck for Trashtastic. And our player still hasn't pitted, so yeah, he'll try to one stop. So good on him. So it's up to Chris and Knight Rider to make up the time that will be lost by all player by stretching the stars with those fresh tires for the other two. Hit with a gun. sadly in last place, and really far from everyone else. So sadly for her, like, yeah, a lot less mistakes than from last time, and Hippie can't take advantage of that. And sadly for her, she's really far from the. I mean, not that far. There's a bit of gap towards Irish, but not that far. As our player is in the pits. Yeah, I don't think sadly our player will have the leniency of making that one stop work, but maybe what he can do is do a two stopper. That can be quite interesting, because as we see with crash test, not crash testing, but oh, and look at this, look at the time our player lost by pitting lots late. So yeah, I think the medium tires was the right way to go and we'll see with Marius and Confused free as Night Rider is back in third, as Chris is trying to overtake Tin Pan driver Tin Pan, who is also on the medium tires if I'm not mistaken. So let's see, what can the soft tire runner do? Chris, our opponent for today, the number 97, that's a good number. I'll keep repeating this every time he's in a race. That's a good number. In the slipstream of the Jordan driver. He's right on the back bumper, and yeah, he's pulling on the side. Not quite having. Oh yes, he does. On the braking, he pulls a move, and Chris is now into 4th place. And I mean, he's very far from Night Rider, who pitted. Remember, Night Rider was the first one of the soft runners to pit, and that was a very clever move, because with Chris and all players stretching those tires, they lost a considerable amount of time. And yeah, I mean, I won't be shocked to see Night Rider when Marius and Comfy pit being the lead. But sadly for Night Rider, for me, he still has two over pit stop to do. He stopped on lap 10, remember, and sadly that was 42 laps, and I doubt he'll be able to stretch that much the tires. Irish looking as EP Gun is now that's because that's all play pitted. And crash across the back end, and Irish went through, going back towards for the McLaren driver. Not going really good for both McLaren, because all players in last position. All player looking really aggressive here he looked really aggressive, and he really had that fighting spirit, but sadly the other seems to have a strategic advantage over him. But that was very good play. That was very kudos for him to try another strategy as he's doing his personal best lap. Good on him to try a strategy to stretch the soft tires, trying to keep with the leaders. I mean, he managed to stay ahead of Marius and Confuse free. And I don't know where Comfy is. Did he gain time on Marius, or did he lose time? I mean, as I say, like that move Marius did after Comfy got into the grass may have been like a very important move, as we're almost at half race. All player coming back on Hippie with a gun. Ooh, tank slapper from the number 13 McLaren. Yes, number 13, you read that right. As we're with Marius, who has a massive penalty of 9 tenths, so that's pretty big. But look at this. Comfy is nowhere. Comfy is nowhere. Marius has the pace today. I mean, like, he's really far. I doubt entering the corner while drifting is a good thing. But remember, we still don't know. Oh, as you can, he's looking low on fuel and bit of grass. So yeah, I think Marius will be entering the pits this lap. His fuel is looking rather low. And yes, Marius is in the pits. So let's see. What will confuse the free? He's also low on fuel, and yes, he has to pit the same lap. And Knight Rider on the soft tires pit the same lap as the leaders. So yeah, as I expect, Knight Rider did again. He did 10 laps again on those tires, and he'll have to do another stop. I think today the winning compound was the medium tires for, and as we see with both Comfy and Marius. Nitro and Mazma also in the pits. So let's see, this is going to be a chase to the end. No safety car, no nothing. Marius and Comfy will have to drive the best of their abilities to gain the win. Advantage to Marius, who again took advantage of a fight between all player and Comfy user free. And that allowed the Frenchman to create a gap, as now he judged his penalty to 2/10, so that's good on him. Ooh, right on the curb. As we see his teammates in second position, good on Tin Pan. The Finnish driver, he was also in the medium tires, so will he pit this lap? I wonder, how is his fuel looking? And yes, he pits. Tin Pan driver into the pits. And now I'm actually quite surprised, and that Comfy lost a lot of ground to Marius. I mean, look at this. Ayush and Knight Rider, and especially Knight Rider, remember, he pitted this at the same time as Comfy and Marius, and he was behind Comfy, but I don't know what happened. Did Comfy did a mistake? Because he was ahead after that, so... Or maybe Knight Rider put... let's see. Oh yeah, right? Knight Rider is... I think yeah, that's the fuel. That's the fuel. Maybe Knight Rider overtook Comfy because when he pitted, he took less fuel. But really, as it stands out, like 20 laps to go, for me, like if Marius doesn't do a mistake, I think for me, he looks to having this in the bag, but we'll see if Comfy can give us a beautiful run and come back on the French driver. We're only asking that. Switching to Masma, the Italian driver driving for Ferrari in 8th position. And again, with all the wave of the pits, and Hippie with a gun is actually in 6th position right now, but with how fuel will be looking for the drivers, I really think Hippie will have to do another stop. Personal best for Masma, 118. 118 for him, and or 119. 119. Beta flag for the Italian driver. (1997) Brazilian Grand Prix. Again, I think that's a race of me dropping Michael Schumacher facts, but Michael Schumacher starting on the intermediate tires in a soaking wet track and And like as it is with the Belgian weather, it dried up really quick, and he managed to use his intermediates to pretty much do one less stop and roll on everyone. Our leader, Chris. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that's looking very interesting. I think Chris will have to get in one pit as his Knight Rider and our player. As sadly for our player, oh, Chris in the wall! Ouch! Yup, damage on that car. Oh, and a spin. Oh no! Giving the commentator's curse here to him, and car is heavily damaged. I think he'll have to pit to repair those. Going from bad to worse for Chris. I mean, from good to worse, but you know what I mean. Yup. There was no other choice for Chris. He's into bits. As we were Irish in 4th place. The tires looks good, but I think he'll have to pit for fuel soon. Maybe in 5 or 6 laps. As Confuser Freeze right behind him. The people are gonna also in the pits. Looking a bit more unstable, Irish, isn't he? Confuser free, right behind Irish. Ooh, being unstable for the penetrant driver. Yeah, I think he will be easy pickings for Comfy. He has to hurry up. He's very, very far from Marius. And remember, Marius and Comfy don't have to pit again. But as it stands, I mean, Comfy can be an easy prey to Knight Rider. And he's soft tires, so let's see for him. Marius, our race leader, he is really far ahead, isn't he? I mean, he has Knight Rider not far from him, but like, Knight Rider has to pit again. Marius doesn't, and that, I think that's going to make the difference. I mean, Knight Rider with his aggressive first stop strategy, he's actually looking to make it work. But sadly for him, Marius has a really good pace with those medium tires, and with the two stops less. He's really running away. But remember, we still have some penalties, so imagine if Marius has too much. Oh, in the grass! The leader's in the grass! Knight Rider goes past. Marius is still in the grass. Ooh, excellent job from Marius to keep it. And, does he have his shoes? Oh no! Oh, this can't be happening! Oh, leader has disconnected! Oh no! That is the worst thing that could happen! He has such a gap, and sadly for him... Oh no! Oh no! That is such a heartbreaker for the Frenchman. He DNFs. Oh. I bet. I'm already hearing the cussing. Yeah. This is such a shame. Our race leader, and yeah, the commentator's curse. I said if that Marius had into the bag, and yeah, I cursed him, so I'm sorry, Marius. I'm really sorry. Ah, and now Comfies are free, but remember, Knight Rider has a bit of a gap. and when he'll pit, he'll have the soft tires. So we're looking to have a finisher between Confused Free and Knight Rider. That will be very interesting. Confused Free still didn't find a way around Irish. Irish in second place, so that's pretty good for him. Confused Free, he needs to get past Irish the fastest, because the more time he loses on Knight Rider, the less chance he'll have to beat him, because with his soft tires, Knight Rider is going to be faster than Confused Free. So yeah, that is a very interesting race that is profiling ahead of us. Yeah, Confused trying to overtake Irish. He really tries to get around him, but he cannot, and that is playing to the hands of Knight Rider. I didn't think with that free stop. I mean, maybe Knight Rider would maybe stretch to the end, but I doubt with the fuel he had. But with the free stop, I doubt it would be a good strategy. I mean, with Marius, which it showed them the two stops when you make that one stop work. It was a win strategy, but sadly, Marius isn't here. He DNS. He disconnected. So. Irish to the pits. Now Confused Free has to work. He has to reduce the gap between him and Mazma in the grass. Oh no, not going well for him. Bit damage on the tires, but the car is intact, so that's the most important. But yeah, Confused Free versus Knight Rider. He's a bit far from the leader, as we were with Tin Pan or Unlucky Leader's teammates. And he'll have to try to get those points back home. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job at it. I think, like, with the fuel, he can go to the end. So maybe 4th place, that would be good for the Jordan driver. It could have been so much better if, sadly, Marius didn't disconnect it. That is such a shame. He was looking so strong. He made everything work. He used the right opportunity to overtake all playing Confused Free when they were battling. And sadly for the French driver, the racing god, or like the video game gods, said otherwise. Switching to Crashtastic, McLaren driver who was a bit unlucky at the start, and he hasn't really recovered from that. And also, speaking of another McLaren driver, I mean, I don't see all player anywhere. I mean, maybe sadly for him, all player disconnected or retired from the race, because we didn't see him for a while. He had a very interesting strategy, making those soft tires last longer, but sadly for him, I think that's disconnect, because we haven't seen it yet. Oh yeah, I didn't notice, but at the top left we see 8 cars, and the Hippie with Gun is in 8th position. So yeah, all player also disconnected. Yeah, huge heartbreak for him. He made some very good move at the beginning. Had a very interesting strategy, but sadly for him, he had to retire. 12 laps to go, and no, 11 laps to go. No, it's 11. It's 12. My apologies. And Knight Rider still hasn't pitted. That's interesting. I mean, Knight Rider pitted on lap 20. It will be oh no, yeah, we see right from really worn out, fuel really low. This is going to be likely Knight Rider's last pit stop. And yeah, he made it work. He made it work. Free stop. I think it's going to be the winning move because look at this, Comfy. He's barely finishing sector 2. So yeah, let's see. Knight Rider's in the pits. On top right of the map, and looking where Comfy User Free is. There we go. And we are in here. He has Chris, and Chris is looking to be ending it. So yeah, we're having. I didn't imagine that. Yeah, we'll have having a freeway battle for the lead. If and okay, so where is Knight Rider? Where is he? Not as ahead as I thought he would. Yeah, Confused Free is in the lead as Knight Rider is still in the pits. He just exited the pits, so okay, so I thought it would be a Knight Rider versus Confused Free, but it's going to be Confused Free versus Chris. Two different strategy, soft versus mediums. So let's see. This time all the tires will make the work because I think fuel wise they're looking the same. This is going to be a very intense battle, folks. Get on your seats. Slipstream. Will Chris make a move in the first turn? Confused Free defends the inside. Will Chris go round the outside? He doesn't. I see people will exit the pit. So yeah, that is more work to do for those two guys. Having to deal with a lapped car. That is something that is really stressful when you're fighting for position, you have traffic, whether it's oncoming or incoming. What I mean, when someone is going to lap you or you're going to lap someone, that's what I meant. Confused Free. I'd say for Chris has the advantage. We'll have to keep an eye on where Knight Rider is, so let's see. Okay, so he's entering. So he's going to be entering the complex. Yeah, that's same at the back in the background. But he's a bit too far from Comfy and Chris in my opinion. So I don't think he'll have enough time to come back on those two, unless they have a huge fight. That's the only thing he can hope, is that they fight so much that they lose so much time and all that. But even still, I think we're going to cut real close as we're just 8 laps to go. Side by side, and Chris, will he make the move stick? Side by side, Confused Free. No, he doesn't make the move stick, but he'll have a second shot in the second stretch. Let's see. In the slipstream for Chris, he doesn't think about doing a move here. He has the better tires, but the more time passes, the more it falls to the head of Confused Free, because with his medium tires, he'll have a bit more tires at the end to fight than Chris. So yeah, for Chris, it's a ticking race. Each passing lap, he has less and less chance to win with his soft tires. So let's see. He's really close. I think he's going to pull a move in the front stretch. That's what his game is. That's what he's thinking. Using the slipstream to overtake Confused Free and saying bye bye in the complex sections. So let's see. In the front stretch, in the slipstream, Confused are free. He's staying on the outside. Chris doesn't think about making a move. 7 laps to go. This is an intense battle for the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Chris versus Confused are free. Remember, I still don't know if they got penalties or not, so we'll see. We'll see. Chris will spend another lap behind the Minotti. So Minotti versus Tyrrell, who would have thought that? I mean, that's pretty much if an AlphaTauri is fighting Red Bull right now. Oh! And the spin and the wall for Chris! And damage for the... And it's over for him. Damage on the 97 car. He had the pressure on himself with soft tire. He had to do a move rapidly. And sadly for him, he cracked. He spun. And I think it's over for him. He won't, with this damage, he won't be able to come back on Comfy User Free. So, in my opinion, I mean, I did curse Marius earlier, but I think Comfy User Free has got in the bag. There will be 6 laps to go when he crosses the south finish line. I don't think that's enough for Knight Rider to come back, especially if Chris, if he's fighting Knight Rider, that will be even worse for the German driver. So as we see, hit with a gun, who has Confused are free, and maybe not in back mirror yet, but he is looking closer and closer. As I see on the mini map, I see Nitro and Chris fighting it out. Yeah, let's see. Nitro has come back on Chris. Much fresher, soft tires. So let's see. The German driver, he will overtake Chris. This is just a matter of time. But will he be able to come back on User Free? There's just 6 laps to go. It will be 5, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So yeah, just 5 laps to go after this lap. So he has to pull the time, move quick, and that's what he does with the slipstream. And yeah, with the damage, Chris doesn't have the same speed as before. He has to let Knight Rider through, but thankfully for Chris, Tin Pan is really far behind. So the only thing Chris has to do is keep in on track to protect his 3rd position. And even if Tin Pan overtakes him, that would still be a 4th place. That would be quite so bad, as we were Irish in the top 5. So that's a pretty good race for him on those medium tires. But he has Mazma behind it, so I think we'll have an interesting fight for the top 5 here. I'm looking at the minimap. I'm trying to figure out where is Comfy, where is Knight Rider. It's still very intense between those two guys. Comfy just he doesn't have to do a lot. He just needs to pace up, not to pace up, but just to pace his laps. He has a bit of a gap towards Knight Rider. He's not coming that fast on Hippie with a gun, so he's not looking like to worry about traffic just yet. And the more time passes, again, the soft tires for Knight Rider, they will wear out no matter what. And as we saw with his tire wear, he has maybe one of the worst tire wear in the soft runners. As we see Mazma, I mean, look, those tires are just screaming, please, just end the suffering. I cannot do it anymore. Interlagos is such a beautiful track, by the way. As I said at the beginning, has had so many memorable moments in F1. I especially mentioned the title decider race, but what about Ayrton Senna's first win here in '91? Stuck in 5th gear all the way at the end and still managed to keep his first place. Also, 2003 Chaos here, won by Giancarlo Fisichella, one of my favorite drivers. We're a 10-pound driver. Very consistent race for him. He started a bit of the bag, but with his medium tires and doing the one stop, it worked quite well for him. So yeah, the one stop really was a good strategy today. As showed Confi, Marius, and him. But sadly for Marius, yeah, the disconnect that was really bad for him. As I'm looking at the minimap, and I think Knight Rider is getting closer and closer to Confuser 3. There's just 3 laps to go. I think it will be a 1-lap shootout between Knight Rider and Confuser 3 at the end. And you know, throughout the whole race, it was really hard to overtake on the straight. It was either the braking or profiting from someone's mistake. And if Confuser 3 managed to keep this gap, and just like Knight Rider is back on him like last corner, that will work for him. And let's look at the minimap. He's looking closer and closer than ever. So, I mean, we'll have just 2 laps remaining. But I think 1 lap, it's all that Knight Rider needs. Remember, this is 2 very opposite strategy at the front. Knight Rider had the 3-stop, Confuser 3 had the 1-stop. Chris used the 2-stopper. A lot of different strategy with different compounds of tires. This is why this series is really great. The strategy difference is really big, and yeah, as we see on the minimap, Comfy and Knight Rider are now bumper to bumper, pretty much. I mean, not quite, because it's, I think it's still like a car length between them, but still 2 laps to go. And yeah, as we see, you saw that. Did you see that? Knight Rider looked really close, and that's all he needs. And remember what I said, it's quite hard to overtake during the slipstream, but on the braking, it's possible. Knight Rider, the Lola Mastercard behind Confuser 3, we're coming. It's just 1 lap and a half to go. The German driver and the Italo Swiss driver will duke it out. It will be a 1-lap shootout between both of them. Confuser 3 must have a lot of pressure on him, but look at this tire from Knight Rider, already wearing half of the front right tires. As I said, the tire wear on that Lola Mastercard has been really poor, but he's just right behind him. So let's see, in the front stretch, will he try move down the first turn as we're coming to the last lap? Right behind him, they're side by side for the front stretch. Final lap. Knight Rider is in the lead, and yes, he did the move on the slipstream. He's ahead. Confuser 3 has still not given up. Last lap, he still has a few corners to make it, but I think, yes, Knight Rider has created a gap. So yeah, in the last lap shootout, Knight Rider on the slipstream, he needed that one opportunity, that one shot, the pressure that must have been on him and Comfy. And Knight Rider pulled it on the slipstream, no less. I thought it wasn't possible, but he proved me wrong. And as we see Comfy really far. Wow! 3 stop! He stopped 3 times. And he's still managing to lead on the last lap. Now going through the last complex of corner. A big one on the exit, but Comfy is just too far back to try and move. All now Knight Rider need is to perfect that last corner, and that's it. He has the race won, and yes, no problem on the exit of that last turn, and Knight Rider will come home. What a performance from Knight Rider! 3 stop, all the soft tires, and that was the winning move for him. Well done to him. He is your winner for round 2 of the F1 1997 Gran Turismo Sport Championship, as Chris will come home in 3rd place with 2/10 penalty, and as he spun, sadly for a 10-pound driver, very consistent drive from the Finnish driver, will end up 4th. Such a shame that his teammate had to disconnect, because wow, what a good run from the Jordan team. Irish, great run from him, consistent with this medium tires, and that will be a very good 5th place. Mazma 67, a much better race than last time at Bathurst. He'll finish home with a very good 6th place. Now we're just waiting for Crashtastic and Hippie with a gun. Crashtastic, such a poor beginning for him, and sadly, that will be just 7th place, but that is not representative of his pace and skills. Hippie with a gun, sadly for her, it's 8th place. She had a very good run last time, being really consistent and all that, but today, sadly, everyone did so little mistakes, and I will be PA for her, but she has the talent to get into top 5. She showed it last time. And now let's on to the race results. Knight Rider is your race winner. Ahead of confuser-free Chris, 10-pound driver, Irish, Massman, Crashtastic, Hippie with Gun, Marius, and All Player. The boss's lab was made by All Player, and as I said, Marius and All Player disconnected. So no penalties for today, and that's a good news, so since we don't have to worry about that. A great race from Knight Rider. I'm so shocked that he pulled that free stopper, to be honest. Drivers' Championship confuser free with a hefty lead. 36 points ahead of Crashtastic. Knight Rider in the third with 50 points. Chris and Top Racer 30 points. All Player 28 points. AP with a Gun 28. Mazma 26 points. Hamskewer 9 24 points. Saint Pack 24 points. Irish 20 points. Bonefuchs, Mr. Excitement 14 points. Verzunker 12 points. Marius 10 points. And Viper in 13th place 8 points. The Strategic Championship, Minardi Hearts leading with 90 points, only 8 points gap with McLaren Mercedes. Third is Lola Ford with 58 points. Fourth is Tyre Ford. Fifth is Ferrari with 38 points. Sixth is Jordan Peugeot with 24 points. Stewart Ford is 7th with 30 points. Williams Renault 8th with 28 points. Benetton Renault 9th with 20 points. And Cross Mugen with 14 points. Sauber and ours are still yet to show up at the race. This has been Nickael for your commentary, and it has been fun to commentate this. And we'll see you guys next time for round 3.